in and just getting some things established, but we are thrilled to have you and trust that you'll enjoy your evening with us tonight. This is the Acts Academy. Most of you are familiar with this ministry. You've been here many times. I see some familiar faces who have been here nigh unto 30 plus times. I think this is our 38th production. So some of you have been here for a good number of those. We appreciate that, and we're excited for what the Lord's doing. This is our junior high drama department. We run a junior high drama in this fall semester, culminates with a production now, and then we'll start a senior high production, and that will be performed in April. And so this is our junior high kids, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. They're just cutting their teeth, so to speak, in the theatrical world and stage presence and all of that. But they've just done a wonderful job, and we're looking forward to tonight, and hopefully you're encouraged by their efforts. I have to apologize to you. This has been a wild production as far as the getting things going and some different things. One of the things that's most noticeable to you tonight is the absence of a program. Normally we have a nice full program. I went to print those this afternoon, and I don't know how this happens, but the Ethernet port on the back of my computer went dead all of a sudden. I don't even know anything about computers other than that broke, and that's how it connects to all the printers and everything. And so I apologize that there's not a program out there with your kid's name in it and all those things. We'll try to have those by tomorrow night, but it's just one of many things that has been a fun little jaunt on this whole excursion. And so we trust that the Lord will see us through the evening, but I'm in the back waiting with bated breath to see the next shoe fall because it's been kind of a wild ride. But we look forward to the night, and the kids, this is Murder on the 518. It's a play like we've never done before, and the fact that it's a murder mystery. I will tell you in advance, it's not like some where the clues are going to be so obvious that you're trying to be Sherlock Holmes throughout. You probably won't be able to guess as the play goes on, so don't feel like an idiot if you're surprised at the ending who actually did it. There's not clues peppered throughout. It's just a fun script as murders go. It's a fun script, and so you won't be able to probably pick up the whodunit part of this, but hopefully you enjoy. It does take place on a train, and you'll pick that up as the script goes on. A bunch of folks on their way from the middle of the country out to Los Angeles, and obviously some mayhem occurs along the way. So we'll with no further ado, we'll pray and thank the Lord for the night, and then we'll look forward to seeing what the kids can do. Murder on the 518. Lord, you are good in all times. Lord, you have brought together these folks tonight. You've brought together this crew of students. You've put together this production. You've given the assistant directors and all of the details. Lord, you've allowed these things to come together, and we pray that you would just see us through this evening. We thank you for the process. Thank you for the growth we've seen in the kids as they have developed during the semester. Lord, I pray that tonight would be a good, fitting end to this process. I pray that tonight would be a rewarding culmination of months of effort on the kids' part, and I pray that to those who watch, they would be encouraged by seeing their loved ones growing in their talents and abilities, but also just to see the hand of a good God who provides all of the things that make this possible. Watch over us now, guide and direct us, give us a sweet time, and may this night just be an evident showing of your goodness to us. Thank you for it. In Jesus' name, amen. Couple quick announcements before we start. If you have a cell phone, if you'll turn that off, please. If you have a flash photography, please turn the flash off. We'll have some photos available. We'll take those and make those available so you can have access to those. And lastly, small kids, if they start to be a distraction, or restless husbands, ladies, go ahead and take them out. Please be mindful of those around you. We don't want any distractions. The kids worked hard, but they don't need anything that might throw them off of their game. So help us with those things. We will take an intermission. That'll be obvious. The house lights will come on about halfway through, and there'll be a brief time to get some more concessions if you want, but that'll all take place, and it'll be very obvious when that is. So without further ado, Murder on the 518.
All aboard West Coast 518 to Los Angeles. Now boarding on platform 2. Departure in 15 minutes. All aboard West Coast 518.
I can't believe this day has finally arrived. The day I get to head to Los Angeles for the love of my life on our honeymoon. Can you believe we've been married for 3 whole weeks, Caleb?
It feels like only yesterday that my beautiful bride became my beautiful wife. I cannot wait to spend the next 10 days exploring Los Angeles,
Walking along the beach,
visiting all the museums,
going on all the rides at Disneyland.
seeing all the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm so excited.
I've been looking forward to this trip every minute of every day since our wedding. I don't want anything to spoil our perfect honeymoon together.
Well, we had better hurry up and get our tickets. We don't want to miss the train.
Was brightly lit against the dimming light of the warning day. People were moving to and fro, hustling and bustling, each trying to reach their destination. Elliot was very excited to start his journey of his own. Elliot approached a ticket counter.
May I help you, sir?
As Elliot approached the ticket counter, the young ticket seller asked, "May I help you?" Elliot replied, "Why, yes. May I please have one ticket to Los Angeles?"
Sir, are you saying you'd like to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles?
Elliot sighed in frustration at the young ticket seller, who didn't seem to quite get his simple request to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. It was imperative that Elliot gets to Los Angeles to meet with his publishers to present his latest collection of short stories.
Excuse me. Could I just have your attention for like 1 moment?
Yes! I need to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. I just said that.
My apologies, sir. I wasn't certain if you're talking to me or to your notepad.
As a writer, I need to be constantly aware of my surroundings and record everyday details so that I can incorporate it into my work.
I see. Well, here's your ticket. Enjoy your trip to Los Angeles, sir.
With the ticket finally in hand, Elliot made his way to the boarding platform as the evening wind swirled about.
Next customer, please. How may I help you, sir?
One for Los Angeles.
And would you like to keep your sports equipment with you, or would you like to check that bag?
My equipment goes where I go. You never know when the opportunity will arise. Gotta be prepared.
I don't think there will be an opportunity to play basketball on the train, sir.
I need to become Mike Umbach, top sports recruiter in the Eastern Conference with that type of attitude.
Excuse me? I think that the pursuit of knowledge should be held in more esteem than the pursuit of basketball championships, especially at a university. I hope the students that you recruit understand the value of receiving an education and don't think that the entirety of their college experience should be spent in a gymnasium, seeking the approval of mindless sports fans.
How dare you talk about sports like that? Sports provides teamwork, physical fitness, and critical thinking, and so much more. Just who do you think you are?
Professor Holly Barnes, University of Utah, Department of Physics and Astronomy. While you spend your time recruiting people to run around a basketball court in circles, I spend my time researching the night sky.
Isn't it a little bright in, Los Angeles to be somehow researching the night sky?
For your information, I am going to the city to give a presentation on the Perseids at the Griffith Observatory. The meteor shower was particularly spectacular this August due to the setting of the waxing crescent moon.
And you're saying I'm the crazy one? You're speaking gibberish, nerd.
Neanderthal.
Nerd.
Here's your ticket. Thank you. Next customer, please.
Good evening. One for Los Angeles, please.
I'm heading to Los Angeles, too. One for Los Angeles, please. I'm Abby Wells.
Dr. Lauren Melney. It's nice to meet you.
You're a doctor? You know, I'm studying medicine. Well, veterinary medicine. I'm on my way to Los Angeles to get experience as an aquatic vet tech. It's a little hard to work with marine life in Utah. I bet you could teach me a lot.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but I'm an ER doctor, not a veterinarian. I don't think I'll be able to help you very much with your marine studies.
But so much of medicine can be applied across disciplines. I read that in my Introduction to Marine Studies book. I think they were talking about animal studies. But I mean, humans are mammals, right?
Listen, look, I do love my job, but everyone needs some time off. Wouldn't you agree? I'm spending my time off visiting some family in Los Angeles, and truly, work is the last thing I want to think about while I'm there. It was nice meeting you, though. Thank you.
Yep, of course. Next customer, please.
Hey there. One for the cities of flower and sunshine, friends?
I'm sorry, where, sir?
The cities of angels? The Big Orange? La La Land?
I'm afraid I still don't understand, sir.
He means Los Angeles. Can you please stop all that racket? I've been reading the same paragraph over and over the whole entire time we're in line because I can't concentrate with all that racket. I also need one ticket for Los Angeles, please.
Why, come on now, friend. Why so serious?
I am not your friend. I'm Owen Casey, private investigator. I've been trying to read this article on bank fraud, but you seem intent on stopping that from happening, and of course we're on the same train.
Private investigator, huh? That sounds pretty exciting, friend. You know, music can be exciting too. Probably in a different way.
Definitely, in a different way. Since you'll probably tell me anyhow, what takes you to Los Angeles? Beat and love?
I'm going to become a musical sensation, friend. I'm off the coast to play my way to the top of show business. It won't be long before you see the name Nelson Henry in that newspaper there, friend.
I am not your friend. And stop that racket.
Sir, your ticket.
It just doesn't make any sense, Jennifer. You can't base the entire success of the restaurant on desserts alone. It is not a cafe, it is not a bakery, it is a restaurant. The main entrees are to be the feature.
You aren't even listening to me, Derek. That isn't what I said at all. This restaurant won't survive if we just build it as another seafood place in Los Angeles. We have to have the extra piece of flair that draws people in. And that flair will be found in my desserts.
Spoken like a true pastry chef, always making yourself the center of attention. Well, listen here, I am the executive chef. The owners told me I could take the restaurant in any direction I wanted when they hired us to be the new chef team.
Exactly. Chef team, as in both of us. Not the Chef Derek show.
Excuse me, but do you two need to purchase tickets? The train is boarding soon.
Sorry for the holdup. My husband here always seems to think that he's the center of attention, both in and out of the kitchen. 2 for Los Angeles, please.
Jennifer, if we ever going to get this restaurant off the ground, I think it's time you realize I deserve to be the center of attention in the kitchen.
Are you serious? What part of the word team seems to be confusing you?
Here are your tickets. Enjoy your trip. Next customers, please.
This place is disgusting. Just look around. It's too hot, and that tray is smoking. Is that sand going on the floor? This is not the place I should be expected to step foot in.
Isabella, we've been over this. We have to take the train to Los Angeles as part of your next movie, Sunset on the Rails. West Coast Railways is the company providing the trains for the film. And they said they won't have their name appearing in the movie unless you're actually seen riding one of their trains for publicity. It's in your contract.
Well, Lucy, I have no idea why you would agree to that. You are supposed to be looking out for my interests, and this is not something a movie star would be interested in.
I'm your assistant, Isabella, not your agent. He's the one who agreed to this. Besides, I'm sure it's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
Excuse me, miss, but those two women were in line before you. Please step aside.
Do you know who I am? I am Isabella Madison, the star of the movie One More Day, which is currently the top grossing film in Iceland, Greenland, and Norway. Do not step aside. And I certainly don't wait in line with people. People wait in lines for me.
That's ridiculous. Just because you're a movie star doesn't mean you can just cut in front of people in line.
It's fine. Take care of them. We can wait. Don't worry about it. We'll get to the counter in a minute.
She can't just get her own way because she's made some foreign film that no one has ever even heard of. You deserve more respect than she does. She should wait behind you. You're the CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals.
Yes, Jillian, and you're my assistant. And as the CEO, I'm telling you not to worry about it.
And that is final. I don't care if the only single car you have left houses 2 people. I demand my own. And when is dinner? I'm just famished from this whole ordeal.
Dinner will be served at 7 o'clock tonight in the dining car. Breakfast will be served tomorrow at 8 a.m.
The food on this train had better be prepared by competent chefs. The last thing I need on this trip is substandard cuisine. And I better have my own table in the dining car. I will not have my meals disturbed by whatever nonsensical people are on this ridiculous train trip.
Sorry for the inconvenience, ladies. Thanks for your patience. Where are you heading?
No problem. It wasn't your fault. 2 tickets for Los Angeles, please.
Certainly. And would you like to check any of your bags?
No, thank you. We need to go straight to our business meeting with Sunset Pharmaceuticals as soon as the train arrives. And I don't want to have to wait for the baggage to be unloaded.
I still don't understand why we can't just fly there, Miss Millen. We could have arrived tonight and had plenty of time to get ready for your presentation. Or should I say, get ready for your takeover. This will be the 3rd company that Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals has acquired this year.
You know we can't take our pharmaceutical samples on a plane with us. I always worry that the change in air pressure will ruin them. Then the presentation will fall flat. This is a big acquisition for us, Jillian, and we can't have anything go wrong.
Of course you're right, Miss Millen, as always. Here are your tickets. Enjoy your trip.
All aboard West Coast 518, bound for Los Angeles. Final boarding call. Departure in 55 minutes. All aboard West Coast 518.
I need 1 ticket to the 518, please.
The train for Los Angeles, sir?
It doesn't matter where it's heading. All that matters is that Isabella Madison is on it, and that means I need to be on it too.
And why must you be on the train with her?
Because I'm Cindy Bennett, paparazzo, extraordinaire. I heard she had to ride a train to get to her new contract. I followed her to Salt Lake City on her movie tour. I've been sitting in this station for 2 days waiting for her to show up.
I'm well aware.
My patience has paid off because I watched every person board this train, and no one else here is on assignment photos of Isabella Madison throwing her tantrums on the train. It's going to skyrocket me to the top.
Okay, well, here's your ticket. Enjoy your trip to Los Angeles, sir.
Thank you.
All aboard West Coast 518 to Los Angeles. It's now departing.
The dining car could be best described as quaint. 4 tables, each adorned in modest drapery, each anxiously awaiting the arrival of their occupants, eager to fulfill their purposes. The dining staff moved frantically, each seeing to their diner preparations.
Good evening, sir. The dining cart has a size seat. May I see your ticket, please?
Elliot was startled by the arrival of the steward and did not know he would need to bring his ticket with him to the diner and was frightfully unprepared for this conversational exchange.
Excuse me, sir, but if you can just tell me your sibling cabin number, I can check my list and tell you your seating assignment. We posted a chart by the entrance, but you arrived beforehand.
I like to be the first one in any group setting. It gives me as much time to write as possible. For my work, I'm a writer, Elliot Williams, and sleep in cabin 14.
Ah, yes, Mr. Williams. Turns out, cabin 14 is assigned to this table. May I bring you something else to drink while you wait?
Elliot was pleased with the good fortune of selecting the table he was supposed to sit at, as he required no other beverage than the water that was placed before him. The remaining waitstaff returned to the kitchen to continue with their diner preparations.
And it says right here that working on a beach rescue can be just as taxing as working in an emergency room. See, I told you there was so much you could teach me.
Yes, I do imagine that rescuing an injured sea creature on the beach can be a very stressful situation. But as I said before, I'd really prefer to leave work off the train and just enjoy my travel in peace. Aha, okay, cabin 6, table 2.
Oh my goodness, I'm at table 2 with you. I'm gonna have the best time on this trip.
At least one of us will.
I truly hope you are not planning to entertain the diners with that instrument. Some of us came to the dining car to actually dine.
You never know when inspiration will strike, friend. And some people find that dining while listening to music can be really good.
That's so true. I've been trying to convince my husband that adding some tasteful live music in a restaurant would be a huge draw for Patreons and set us apart from other restaurants around the area. But he thinks that it would detract from the atmosphere.
Is your husband on this train, friend? I would love to talk to him about the benefits of music and eating and to offer my services to this restaurant of yours.
Well, he was supposed to be meeting me here for dinner, but he ran off as soon as we got on board to go who knows where. But I'm not going to stand around and wait for him. He can meet me at the table. It was nice meeting you.
Nelson Henry, musical sensation. I'll keep my eyes open for your husband, my friend, and perhaps we can convince him that music is the key to success.
Oh, the same train and now the same table. What does a guy have to do to get a break around here?
Come on, my investigating friend. We are going to have a great time together on this journey of ours. You need to give our friendship a chance.
Why is that exactly?
You never know, you might need a friend. In fact, I know a song about that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Well, maybe my writer friend would enjoy a nice dinner tune. I was just saying how much music can enhance the dining experience.
Elliot winced at the prospect of the guitar-wielding man regaling him in song. However, he decided to give in, because arguing would only likely delay the song's inevitable arrival.
Come on now, friends. Why so serious?
I am not your friend. Do you even know what the word serious means? How do you expect to launch your music career being this passive?
I think you misunderstand me, friend. I am very serious about my music. But where will I get a friend as uptight as you? Not even wanting to make a friend. Or always having my face in a notepad.
I want to enjoy the journey.
While you may want to enjoy the journey, I need to record the journey. It takes a great deal of material for writers to work with, and recording everyday conversations helps provide some of that material.
You know, in some ways, being a private investigator is like that. Like in this bank fraud case I was just investigating. The scheme was complex. There were lots of moving players in the game. If I hadn't been paying attention to my surroundings, I never would have realized there was a security guard who was walking the bonds out the front door.
Fine then. No dinner music. But perhaps I can channel some of the serious energy at this table to write a serious song. May I borrow a piece of paper, writer friend?
He is not your friend either. None of us are friends.
Honeymoon meal together. And look, we're at table 1.
And we're in cabin 1. It must be because we boarded the train first.
Well, I think it's because you're my number 1 and I'm your number 1. There's our table.
Oh my goodness! You two must be on your honeymoon. No one married longer than a week would be acting like the two of you.
We are on our honeymoon, but we have been married for 3 whole weeks and love each other as much as ever.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Though it seems like I'm flying solo at the moment. Where on earth is Derek? Dinner's going to be served soon. Guess I'll just order for him again.
Been just fine in your cabin, Miss Millen. After all, your cabin door locks, and the case has a lock on it too. And you are the only one who has the key to the case.
You're probably right, but as I said earlier, this acquisition is just too important to leave anything to chance. No samples, no presentation, no acquisition. I'll just slip it under the table where it won't bother anyone while we eat, and I'll feel much better.
Of course, Miss Millen. You are right as always.
That's a very nice camera you have there. Are you a professional photographer? I'm sure you can get some lovely shots of the scenery while we travel.
Of sorts. But the only thing I want to photograph right now is on this train with us.
Hey, I recognize you from the train station. Why were you just sitting around? We had a train to catch.
Can you please keep it down? I'm here trying to photograph Isabella Madison. You know, the movie star. I need you to sit down before she gets here and sees me.
Paparazzo, eh? Those people cause all sorts of trouble for, good athletes like me. You know what I mean? They just need to leave people in peace.
Well, it seems to me that if people don't want the attention of the media, then perhaps they should choose careers that are less high profile.
Again with the insults. Just because what we do is more important than what you do doesn't make what you do less interesting.
I believe I said people in general. You are the one who brought up athletes. You are completely insufferable.
Didn't I see you two arguing earlier? What's going on?
We are just having a bit of a disagreement about academics. I feel that the pursuit of knowledge is a most noble endeavor. Coach here does not.
I actually never said anything about studying wasn't important.
Yes, you did. At the ticket counter.
Nope. I said I was a sports recruiter. Then you went off on how dumb sports are. I never even got a word edgewise. I went to college on a sports scholarship to, study. And I wouldn't have made it to college without that scholarship.
And what is your degree? A bachelor's in being loud and obnoxious?
Being physically and mentally fit is important for people. It's important for marine life too. I read right here that certain species of marine life actually play games with each other and are smart enough to create tools for themselves. Isn't that neat?
I have to agree with Abby here. As doctors, we frequently tell patients that physical and mental acuity are both very important. I see a lot of patients in the emergency room who could have prevented injury by either being in better shape or by using their minds to prevent the injury-causing circumstances in the first place.
See, the good doctor here says that people need to use their minds when engaging in physical activity.
Yeah, I'm sure looking up at the stars while you run will really help avoid injury.
And there you go again.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
What were you doing in the kitchen?
Know what she's talking about.
I'm a chef, aren't I? I was doing market research for a restaurant.
On the kitchen of a train?
You have to be more open-minded to new situations, Jennifer.
And this is from the man who shot down every single one of my ideas. See what I mean about marriage? This is what I get to deal with.
Don't listen to her. We're just a little bit on edge because of this new restaurant we're opening.
You guys own a restaurant? That sounds super exciting.
Well, we don't own the restaurant. The owner of the restaurant was an investment real estate type. He bought the place that you'd be a breeze to run as a sort of side business for himself. But then he found out really quickly that running a restaurant is really hard work. So then he started looking for some people with decent experience.
The owner's letting us totally design everything, right down to the napkin color and the paint on the wall. We're hoping that if this goes well, we might buy the place down the road.
Is it hard going to work with your spouse? I mean, Rachel and I love spending time together, but we go to 2 separate jobs during the day.
It has been a challenge, and we've been arguing a lot lately.
Yeah, you're right, Jennifer. One night without talk about the restaurant. We can pick it up tomorrow.
That sounds good to me. So, what sights are you two seeing on your honeymoon?
There you are, Isabella. Did you really have to change your outfit again? The one you wore before was just fine.
Lucy, a movie star belongs to the public. These people might have seen me already. They expect me to change my outfit.
Well, we better get to dinner. It's already after 7, and I checked the chart and we're at table 3.
Lucy? Who are these people sitting at my table?
I don't know, Isabella. The other people assigned to the table, what's the matter?
I told when you purchased our tickets on this ill-conceived journey, I demanded my own table. I will not be forced to interact with these commoners.
With all due respect, Miss Madison, this tantrum is really not necessary. I assure you that Julian and myself will be perfectly amicable dinner companions.
Really, this is the second time today that you've treated us like this. We don't deserve it. No one here deserves to be talked down and told they're commoners either.
Miss Madison, as you can see, the dining car is full to capacity. Would you please take a seat? Everyone's getting quite hungry.
Please, Isabella, it's fine. You don't even have to talk to them. Just please take a seat.
Well, you had better be prepared to give me everything I request for the remainder of this journey, or none of you will be employed. I am Isabella Madison, and I deserve to be treated as such.
I cannot believe how she keeps treating you. If this was a pharmaceutical conference, you can make demands like her. She has no idea who she's talking to.
Jillian, please, we cannot always choose who we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We will be the more mature people in this situation and be better for it. Now, let's just try to enjoy our meal.
I don't think we were actually introduced. I'm Lucy Blake, Isabella's assistant. I'm pleased to meet you.
A pleasure. I'm Avery Millen, CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals. And this is my assistant, Jillian Hill.
I've heard of that company. It's an honor to meet the CEO.
Miss Millen is the youngest CEO in our company's history and has grown the corporation more during her leadership than the last 3 CEOs combined.
Yes, thank you, Jillian. She makes it sound more exciting than it really is, though. It's a challenge to grow a small company, and our current growth is only happening because of the work all the others before me put in.
Those are still some pretty impressive accomplishments. Did you study business?
Actually, she studied chemistry. Most of our top pharmaceuticals are based on Miss Millen's own chemical designs.
Again, thank you, Jillian. After the previous CEO retired, the board of directors thought it would be a positive change to have someone making the decisions who understood the products we sell actually work. I did end up doing some business studies, but Jillian is a big help with the business side of things.
That's really interesting. I studied business myself and certainly wouldn't know anything about pharmaceuticals, so I see what the board of directors was thinking.
You studied business management to get bossed around by a demanding movie diva?
Jillian! No, it's okay. Actually, Isabella and I were friends in high school, and then we went to the same college. When she started to get parts for TV commercials and appearances, she asked me to be her assistant because she, well, knows absolutely nothing about business. And to be honest, I really needed a job. She didn't start to get like that until that movie of hers really took off. Working with Isabella is great, but later, I really like to get into a different line of business.
I'm a doctor. Is everyone all right? Does anyone need medical attention? Is everyone okay? All right?
I'm okay. Madison, there must be a good reason why the train has stopped. Are you okay? We will find out right away.
I'm an investigator. Maybe I can help.
Frantically, each trying to make sense of the sudden events.
I can't see anything. We're too far away from the front of the train. Someone should go out and check it out.
I don't think that's a good idea, my sport playing friend. We should stay put until we hear what's going on.
That would be your solution, wouldn't it? Just use brute force, climb out of the car, and run headlong into a potentially dangerous situation.
And if we're up to you, we'd sit here and wait for information. We gotta take some action.
We have been here for only moments. Some patience would benefit you.
Yeah, we should go out.
No, you shouldn't.
We definitely should. We should definitely go out.
Hey!
I think we should.
Hey! Listen, we went to the front of the train, and the conductor says there was a rock slide on the tracks. They already have people cleaning it up, and we should be on our way in no time.
We greatly apologize for this inconvenience. If you all would like to go to your rooms, freshen up, then return to the dining car, we can get this mess cleaned up and serve the meal again.
Come on, Isabella, let's go back to your room and change your outfit. Isabella? Seriously, it's not that bad. You brought a lot of clothes. Isabella? Isabella! It's okay, Isabella. Isabella! Oh my goodness, somebody help!
Miss Madison? Everyone, back up! Back up! Give us some space! You! Are you taking pictures? Stop that! You! Get me a pitcher of water, quick! You! Hand me those napkins! You! Give me your coat! Use the blanket, quick! You! Call 911! Quick! Okay, Lauren. I have supplies. How can I help?
There's nothing you can do.
I can sew. I have lots of stuff.
Abby, listen to me. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. She's dead.
What? Dead?
Isabella's dead. It's just awful.
I know, and she wasn't sick or anything.
Wow, nothing like someone dying to ruin the feel-good atmosphere of a dinner, friends.
Lucy, I'm so sorry about Isabella. I know you said the two of you were friends for a long time.
I just can't believe it. It doesn't even make sense. I was with her all day, and she was perfectly fine. Even at dinner, she was fine. And then she just dies? I just don't understand.
Could she have hit her head when the train stopped suddenly? Or choke on what she was eating?
Trust me, she couldn't have. If she had done something like that, she would have made a big scene about it, and we all would have known.
What is wrong with all of you? A young woman drops dead and you make jokes about her?
I'm sure no one meant to make a joke, right, everyone? He just meant that she didn't mention getting injured or feeling sick at all. She didn't react like she was choking.
Okay, the train personnel are trying to get a hold of someone on the radio and have asked me to take on the investigation in the meantime. Lauren, did you notice any injuries or any clues about how she died? You're the medical expert here.
Well, actually, Abby and I were just discussing that I didn't notice any injuries of any type. When I tried CPR, her airway was clear, which just proves the cause that she might have choked to death.
Can you determine a cause of death?
Apparently her heart stopped, but I have no way of determining what caused this to happen.
Lucy, did Isabella have any sort of history of heart disease? Was she taking any kind of medicine?
No, she was totally healthy. The last time she saw a doctor was a while ago, but her checkup was perfectly fine. If she would have had any sort of health issue whatsoever, I would have known about it. And we didn't pick up any medicine for this trip. And she also hates taking any kind of drugs at all.
Hey, do you think it was something she ate? Should we, be a little worried?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Most of us, we ate the same food, right? If there was something wrong with us, no. If there was something wrong with dinner, more than one of us would have been affected. And aside from a few kinds of fish, I can't think of anything that would just make your heart stop. I mean, there is food poisoning, and that can get really serious. But it isn't instantaneous.
So let me get this straight. Isabella had no heart disease or illness of any kind. She didn't eat anything that could have gotten her sick, and she didn't get hurt when the train stopped suddenly. Her heart just stopped?
Hold on. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
It seems so unlikely.
You don't really think that she was...
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I don't think this was an accident. I'm saying that I think Isabella Madison was murdered.
Elliot could hardly contain his shock and surprise. Murder on the 518th? Improbable, but not impossible. The passengers began to speculate as they tried to process the sudden revelations.
You really think someone here could have murdered her? We were all right here together when it happened. Wouldn't we have seen something?
Rachel and I definitely did not plan to murder anyone during our honeymoon.
Hold on there, romantic friends. Actually, everyone wasn't all here together around the time that our movie star friend died.
Nelson's right. Derek and Jennifer ran off to the kitchen right as the train stopped, and Owen followed the waiter out. How can we know what they were doing while they were gone?
Elliot is right. I did leave the room. I went to find out why the train had stopped. But think about it. Even if I did leave the room, when would I have been close enough to Isabel to harm her? And what would my motive have been to hurt her anyway? Any investigator worth his salt will tell you that a crime needs two things: opportunity and motive. I didn't have either. The people who were in the room at the time had much more of an opportunity than I did.
We went to the kitchen to make sure that the sudden stop didn't cause a fire or injure anyone.
And what motive would we have had? Isabel didn't do anything to us.
You didn't seem too happy with the scene she made earlier in which she declared you a commoner.
But neither did you. Seemed like a perfect for someone like a professor to get pretty upset.
Oh, please. Someone like myself commit murder over something as frivolous as a minor insult? That seems highly unlikely, don't you think? Especially since there are far stronger, more common people present.
Again with the insults. Somehow being athletic makes me a murderer. You heard the doc. Isabel wasn't injured. You saying the doc is lying to all of us?
Lauren is absolutely not lying. I was right there. Isabella wasn't her.
Don't you study fish? How would you even know if anything was wrong? Besides, the doctor was the one who went from person to person right after the train stopped. She had the most opportunity.
I do not appreciate your insinuation. I'm a healer, a crisis happened, and I jumped in to help. Well, while I have no desire to participate in this absurd debate, I feel the need to point out that you and your boss represent a pharmaceutical company, which would give you both access to potentially life-threatening materials. Not to mention, we all witnessed that Isabella treated both of you rudely the whole evening. Wouldn't that make you both prime suspects of foul play?
Absolutely not. Pharmacists take an oath too, you know. My goal is never to do harm with my products. I would never use my company's resources to intentionally hurt someone.
What about Elliot? A good murder could be just the inspiration he needs for a great story. After all, he is the one who said real life is the best story material.
I'm far too busy recording events to be part of them. And besides, from what I've recorded, Lucy is the most likely suspect of any foul play.
That's crazy. Isabella was my best friend.
She may have been your best friend at one point, but she clearly treats you very poorly. Ordering you around, making unrealistic demands, and making you clean up her messes, and you never leave her side. You had the best opportunity and the best motive.
She's right. Pressure like that makes people do crazy things. Trust me on that.
We all saw how badly Isabella treated you, yet you still say she was your best friend. What kind of sense does that make?
Everyone just hold on. You're all forgetting one very important thing. Okay, so Lucy had opportunity and motive, but she is not the only one. Lucy is not the only person who follows Isabella everywhere. She is not the only person who relies on Isabella for her career. In fact, if Isabella died, Lucy's career would be over, but Sydney's career would skyrocket. The money he would make from having exclusive photos of Isabella's death would take him straight to the top.
People, I didn't kill this woman.
You must admit, Sydney, Owen makes a compelling argument for your participation in this crime. Can you definitively prove that you were not involved?
Okay, I know I got a little excited at the mention of the word murder, but that doesn't mean I wanted her dead. Sure, I'm going to profit from this, but wouldn't all of you get a little excited about something that's going to improve your careers? Most of you are on this train headed to Los Angeles for work.
I'm afraid I'm not convinced. I will have to confiscate your camera.
My camera? No way. Why?
You say that you didn't do this, and I do want to believe you. Innocent until proven guilty, right? So you've been taking pictures all night. You may have taken a picture that can help find the actual cause of Isabella's death.
Fine, but I want to be by your side while you look through my pictures. I go where my camera goes.
I'd like to join you both while you look. If the cause of Isabella's death is something we all came in contact with, I'd like to know as soon as possible.
I'll come too. You know, this is a lot like trying to help a sick animal. It can't tell you why it's sick. You have to sleuth for the answer.
Sure it is.
You really think Sydney may have taken a picture with the murderer in it when all of us here didn't see anything?
No one was looking for a murder when the event actually happened. Now we have the opportunity to go back through the whole entire night, knowing exactly what we are looking for. Sydney's obsession with taking pictures of Isabella might end up helping us after all.
Hey, over here. Don't you think we should do something to this body? I don't think we should leave it in, the middle of the dining car until we get to Los Angeles tomorrow.
Fair point. If this was a murder, I'd hate to disturb the crime scene, but we can't very well leave it here.
Can you please just stop calling her it?
Lucy, maybe you should go back to your room and lie down.
Hold on there, business lady friend. If there's a dangerous person among us, is it really smart for all of us to separate from each other?
I have to agree with Nelson, especially since we do not yet know who the dangerous person is.
Well, you know what? I think this is all ridiculous. All I want to do is to get to Los Angeles to have a nice honeymoon. And I have a very hard time believing any one of us could have murdered anyone else. Lucy, how about you stay with us? Are you sure? I mean, I don't want to stay by myself, but I don't want to intrude on your guys' honeymoon.
We would love to have you join us, Lucy. Rachel is right. We don't even know that a murder happened here. Some people need to stop jumping to conclusions. Someone died, and that's awful.
All right, listen up here, you pansies. First, we need a plan. First, Isabella's body. Who has any ideas?
Actually, I do. When Jen and I were in the kitchen, we noticed the train has a very large refrigerator, probably for overnight trips or something like that. We could store it in there until the morning, as long as everyone is okay with dry cereal tomorrow.
Okay, that's a start. That's a start. Okay, Derek, you and Jennifer go to the kitchen and figure that out. Next, has anyone had any luck getting to the police yet? I'll take that as a no. Okay. Elliot and Bo's over there. Go to the front of the train, find a conductor or engineer or somebody and ask them if they've successfully raided in for help yet.
Elliot leapt into action, eager to gain more benefit for the situation.
Hold on there, writer friend. Maybe you shouldn't write while you walk.
Okay, now the rest of us are going to wait here until they come back. And those of you who look through pictures, knock yourselves out.
Owen, shouldn't you be giving the directions? Aren't you the investigator?
Private investigators usually work behind the scenes. Once my brain starts working on a case, I tend to forget about the other things going on around me. Let's get started looking at these pictures. Sydney's definitely captured the whole night on that camera.
Well, it appears someone likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, shut it. I didn't see you step up to take any action. Seems something a smart puss would do.
Being able to bark out orders does not automatically qualify you as intelligent. But you did get people moving in the right direction.
Are we moving? Are we moving? Are we moving? I think we're moving. I don't know.
Speaking of moving in the right direction, it looks like we're moving again.
Good news! We helped the kitchen staff clear the cooler for Isabella's body. They're actually cooking most of our food for replacement dinner now.
Here's a story, traveling friends. Our train operating friends have been in radio contact with the authorities. We're basically in the middle of nowhere right now, so they want us to proceed to our final destination, Los Angeles, where the authorities will meet us when we get there. We'll probably have to put off our arrival plans until we all speak to our police friends.
Miss Millen, what if we missed our meeting? That's the whole point of us being here.
I'm sure the company will understand if we have to reschedule, given the circumstances.
This whole thing is just insane. I'm going to try and contact them and get this schedule sorted out.
Hey guys, come up, let's move Isabella's body into the cooler. Mike? You get the head.
With you. She's dead.
You bet I am. You have any idea how much these are worth? Isabella might be dead, but she's still gonna make me rich.
Seriously? That's very inappropriate. And declaring that you're gonna capitalize on her murder definitely doesn't make you sound innocent. Plus, the police are gonna confiscate that camera once we get to Los Angeles. It's evidence.
It's private property. They have to give it back eventually, and I'll still be the only one with these pictures.
The kitchen staff is ready to the meal. If you could all please vacate the dining area for a few minutes, we will clean up this mess and have dinner ready momentarily.
I'm sorry, but we better leave the dining room as is. If Isabella's death was due to foul play, there may be more evidence in this room that can help identify what happened. Can we serve dinner somewhere else?
The lounge car is available, though there may not be enough table space. But as long as some people don't mind standing, it should be a fine place to serve.
Elliot was surprised at the physical strength needed for the task of moving a body, even with the assistance of many. He required immediate sustenance.
What I think Elliot means to say is that was much harder than expected. Jen, pass me my water.
Everything looks like it will be fine in the kitchen. It is a good thing this is a short trip. This is definitely not a long-term storage solution.
Everyone, please. We know you're all hungry. If you could all follow us, we will show you to the lounge car and serve you dinner.
I think I'm just gonna go eat in my room. I've had enough excitement for one night.
That sounds good to me. Rachel, how about we eat with Lucy?
Sir? Get ready to sprint. Sir!
Abby! Abby! Listen to me. His heart stopped. He's dead.
No. Okay, everyone. It's time we face the facts. We have 2 people dead from sudden, unexplained heart failure. It's possible to believe that one death was a unique occurrence. But with 2, there's no denying it anymore. There's a murderer on this train. We don't know who, we don't know how, and we don't know why. And if we don't figure it out soon, there could be more of us dead before we reach Los Angeles.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Writing, of course.
No, you're not. You're staring at me.
Your expressions, they're most captivating. You look despondent. Elliot sat across the table from the young woman. She sat in silence, quietly clinging to the small golden trinket in her hand. Elliot wondered at the significance of the small golden piece.
Isabella gave it to me. I didn't even realize I was playing with it.
She was obviously, clearly, deeply affected by the loss of her close friend and employer.
Isabella wasn't just my close friend, she was my best friend. I don't know if I'm sad, angry, upset, or what I'm feeling.
Despondent.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I really don't understand.
Hey, Jillian, I didn't see you come in. What do you mean?
Well, how can you say Isabella was your best friend? She didn't seem to care much about you, or anyone for that matter.
It's hard to explain. I think sometimes success can do things to people. Isabella, she never wanted to be famous. She just wanted to act. She was always the happiest when she was playing her part.
Are you saying she was pretending to be mean?
Isabella's agent was always telling her that no one pays attention to nice movie stars. He told her that if she really wanted to get attention, she would have to make a scene wherever she went. And I know it seemed like that she was always so mean to me, but I also know that that wasn't really her. That crazy Isabella you guys all saw out there, that's just how she acted in public. Playing another part, I guess.
But didn't it bother you that she made herself the center of attention? Don't you feel like you deserve to get some of the credit?
I never wanted that. I liked being behind the scenes. That's why we worked so well together and why we spent so much of our time together for so long. See this necklace? Isabella bought us matching ones before this trip. She said that it was because we did all of this together.
I really had no idea.
Most people don't, but she built her whole image on being the stereotypical crazy movie star. And maybe if she wasn't so awful to everyone, she would still be alive. Anyways, you seem to spend a lot of time with Avery. You must know multiple sides of her personality, right?
I guess a little, but she's pretty much the same person she's always been. I like things to be straightforward, you know? Hey, it's been a long day. You should really go eat something. I think they're still serving dinner in the lounge car.
Thanks for listening. Most everyone else just keeps trying to interrogate me because they think I murdered my best friend and the photographer who was chasing her. You're right, though. It has been a really long night. I think I'm just going to skip dinner and go to bed. Good night. Good night, Elliot.
Rachel, what's the matter?
Sweetheart, what's wrong?
This isn't how our perfect honeymoon was supposed to go. I wanted it to be perfect.
I know. I wanted it to be perfect too.
Now when we get to Los Angeles, we're going to spend our time in a police station getting accused of murder instead of going to Disneyland and celebrating our wedding. We didn't do anything.
I know that, sweetheart. All I want is to be with you too, but we are all suspects, and we have to let the police do their job.
Circumstances got you down, honeymoon friends?
Yes, this honeymoon is turning out to be quite the disaster.
Come on now. It's not all that bad.
Are you serious? 2 people have been murdered and you say it's not all that bad?
Well, it wasn't either of you two who got murdered, right? And maybe you'll have to change your arrival plans a little when we get there. But you'll be spending romantic time together soon enough, friends. And think of the story you have to tell your friends when you get back home.
Nelson has the right idea, guys. This will all be over before you know it. For us, at least, who didn't know either of the victims.
I suppose you're right, Nelson. I think we are losing sight of why we're on this trip in the first place.
Thank you, Nelson. I just think this whole thing's just making me a little crazy.
Nelson, how is it that you stay so calm and positive? Aren't your plans for Los Angeles gonna be messed up? Didn't you say you had a meeting about your music?
Well, truth be told, friends, I don't have a meeting. I sent out lots of copies of my songs, but I didn't hear back from any of the record labels where I sent them. So I decided to make it to Los Angeles anyway, to make it on my own. And if I stop being positive, how will I have the courage to make it?
Wow, Nelson, that is really brave. I would never be able to do anything like that.
Yeah, you're so determined. I bet your music is great. Want to share some of it with us?
I would love to, friends. I started writing some new songs during this eventful journey of ours. I think I left my notes at my table. Come take a look. Whoops.
There you are. Have you seen Owen? I need to speak with him.
Sorry, business lady friend. We haven't seen her in a while. Anything we can do for you?
You don't look so good. Is everything all right?
I'm fine. I just lost something. I'll look around here and see if I can find it. What are all of you up to in here?
Nelson was just about to play some music for us.
You're sitting around playing music at a table where someone was just murdered? Aren't you bothered at all by what's going on?
You seem pretty upset, Miss Millen. Can I help? What's missing?
No, Jillian, thank you. I'm fine. If you see Owen, please send him in my direction.
Of course, Miss Millen.
Low pounds. You gotta work on them. You gotta go high pounds first.
Will you stop it? You can't just come barreling in here and disturb the evidence.
I never said I was gonna touch anything. I just left my basketball right there. I didn't think that getting my basketball would disturb the evidence. Do you? Why'd you follow me in here? Think I have something to hide? Don't trust me?
Well, people eager to remove things from crime scenes seem somewhat suspicious. Also, if you must know, I brought my reading glasses with me to dinner and left them on the table during all of the confusion.
So, it's not okay for me to get my basketball, but it's perfectly fine for you to get your glasses. Why is that? Seems a little suspicious to me.
Because I won't barrel through the room and disturb everything in sight.
I don't barrel anywhere. I always just work on my basketball
Will you
moves.
two stop it? We have much larger problems than whatever it is you're fighting about.
Really? You two should take a page out of Nelson's music and get some positivity.
That isn't exactly what I meant.
So true, friend.
If we could all just focus on the problem.
Come on, guys. Let's go be positive elsewhere.
I'm just worried about the safety of the passengers. We have to get to the bottom of this.
And is it very safe for the other passengers that are surprised? Am I cooler?
We emptied the coolers before we put the bodies in it. There's no danger to the passengers there.
Hey, Jillian, what's up? Did you come to help us look for clues?
No, actually, I lost my watch. I came to see if I dropped it back here during all the commotion with Sydney. Did you put his body in the cooler too?
Unfortunately, they did.
And it is completely unacceptable.
Listen, for the last time, there's no problem with it. Would you rather have rotten bodies on your carpet, huh? Is that what you want? Yeah? Is that?
Hey, cut it out. Hey, cut it out. Hey, cut it out. Hey.
Look here, two more people invade my kitchen.
We aren't here to invade your kitchen. Actually, we were coming to tell you how much we enjoyed the meal we just had.
What are all of you doing here?
We were sleuthing for clues in the kitchen.
Sort of. I'm convinced that these deaths have to do with something that the victims ate.
Owen, I really need to speak with you about...
told you there are virtually no foods that would cause this to happen. You searched the kitchen. Did you find any dangerous foods?
Take it from the people who work in a restaurant. When you have an event like this, an event where everybody eats the same food and all the dishes are the same, you have no idea which plate's going to which table.
And do you really think that the wait staff would randomly decide to put dangerous foods on just 2 plates? And even if they did,
Hey!
I'm not saying that you did, but really, what are the chances that those 2 plates end up in front of the intended people?
I see what you're saying. What about the waitstaff? Though, they serve each person individually, and they were with us the whole entire time in the dining room before the meal was served. Plenty of time to see where each person was sitting.
We've been in and out of the kitchen a dozen times by now. The trays get handed to the waitstaff, and the waitstaff walks out the door. When would they sabotage the food?
And weren't the Isabella and the Sydney at different tables? Did 2 waiters decide to commit murder?
Okay, I get it. The food theory doesn't quite add up.
If you are quite satisfied, we will be returning kitchen without all of you.
Something's missing. What's missing?
Owen, I really need to speak with you.
I know what's missing.
What are you talking about?
The wood piece is missing. Owen said something's missing. I know what it is.
You do?
No need to act so surprised.
I didn't mean it that way.
Okay, enough. Mike, what are we missing?
So it seems to me you guys been all trying to figure out the how and not the why. People died, we got that, right? We got that?
Yeah.
For sure. It was in the dining cot. We got that as well. And this whole night, you guys been chasing around a food theory that hasn't gotten you anywhere. You only could try to make a layup so many times without making until you have to switch plays and go for outside 3-point shot. It goes in every time. So back up, reassess, and have a different approach to the problem.
Elliot!
You think it was Elliot who killed them?
No, Elliot can tell us what's missing.
I don't follow you.
You know how he's always writing down everything he sees? He was taking notes the entire time we were at dinner. He's sitting here taking notes right now. I bet he can help us remember what everyone was doing.
Abby, that's a great idea.
Hey, I bet if you put Sydney's photos along with Elliot's notes, you could paint a picture of just about everything that went on in the room last night. Where is Sydney's camera anyway?
I remember seeing it on the table when we moved his body. Hey, the camera! It isn't here!
What? Well, where did it go?
So many people have been in and out of this room all night that anyone could have picked it up, and no one would be the wiser.
Hey, maybe Elliot can tell us that too. What do you say, Elliot?
Elliot was displeased to have his notes disturbed.
However, he recognized the importance his notes could have in solving the case, especially in the light of the disappearance of the photographer's camera, which created a large gap in the quest for visual evidence.
I believe that was a yes.
Hey, Jen, let's go see if we can find that camera.
No, all of us are staying right here until we figure this thing out.
But
I know, not all of us are here, but Mike was onto something before. All of us who are in this room right now have been trying like crazy to figure this thing out. So either all of us are the best actors ever, or we are the ones that genuinely don't have anything to hide. Either way, let's go back to those notes and maybe this time focus on the people who haven't been trying to solve the crime.
Owen, I really need to speak with you privately now.
What's up, Avery? You don't look so good.
Avery, I don't mean to intrude, but if you're feeling sick at all, you really need to.
No, I'm fine. Actually, Lauren, good thing you're here too. So both of you know that I work at a pharmaceutical company and that I'm going to Los Angeles with samples for a presentation, right?
Right.
Well, when the train stopped suddenly, when there was the rock slide on the tracks, I opened up my case to check on everything and all seemed to be fine. But when I returned to my cabin after dinner, I noticed that one of the vials was missing.
What?
Avery, this isn't good. What does it contain?
That's the worrisome part. It's a new medication that my company is developing. 12 patients at risk for heart failure. It hasn't been widely tested yet.
So what you're telling me is that we are missing a vial of untested heart medication on a train where 2 people have been found dead due to heart failure.
Oh my goodness! Avery's missing medicine that causes heart failure.
Are you serious? This new development is most exciting.
Let's focus on the other people theory is crazy. This woman clearly had the means and the opportunity to commit these murders. We should have kept focus on her the whole time. She even sat at the same table as Isabella, who was rude to her.
Do you generally think she would have brought this to our attention if she was the one who committed the crime?
Maybe that's a plan to make us think she's innocent.
But Derek, from what I'm reading here, Avery was nowhere near Sydney at any point in the evening. And I think it is somewhat far-fetched to believe that there are 2 separate murderers on this train.
Derek, come back!
Let's just give those 2 a minute. Avery, tell me more about this heart medication. I think it's safe to assume that this is the best lead we've had so far for a cause of death.
Well, like I said before, its primary function is to help patients at risk for heart failure by helping regulate heart function. For someone who is sick, too little would be ineffective, but too much could be very dangerous.
So, what would happen if someone without a heart problem took it?
It's safe to presume that the same would hold true for a healthy person. A small amount would probably go unnoticed, but a large dose could likely cause serious heart problems.
Avery, what characteristics does the medicine have itself? Would people know they were taking it, or could it be hidden somehow?
Actually, that's where my company has been focusing our research. Most of the medications I'm taking to my presentation are in liquid forms, with no colorings or added flavors. We're trying to develop a new line of medication for people who have trouble swallowing traditional medication.
That's a great idea. I bet it'd be useful for animals, too.
Focus!
Okay, so if you claim it wasn't you, who else had access to your case?
That's the thing. The case never left my possession. I'm the only one with the key, and I still have that right here. The only time all evening that the case was opened was right after the rock slide, and just now, in my room.
Sorry about before, everyone. I'm pretty on edge. Thought we could all use some water.
Sure. Thanks. Guys?
Elliot exhausted from all the excitement and welcomed the refreshments.
Sounds good to me.
Don't drink that! What? Why? What's the matter?
The water glasses! That has to be what's happened.
If the medicine is a liquid, it could be very easily added to the beverage.
And the medicines are designed to have very little color and taste. No one would know they were drinking it.
Elliot took amazing notes, and right before both deaths occurred, many of us were sipping water.
What about Sydney? I don't remember him drinking anything then.
It's not quite as clear, but remember, right before Sydney died, those who had helped move Isabella's body came back into the dining room and had some water.
Okay, so now we need to figure out who got a hold of the medicine and got close enough to both people to put in their water.
We still need to find Sydney's camera, too. I'm positive that this notebook will continue to be a valuable resource. If we continue to look back through it, I'm positive that we'll figure out who had the opportunity.
We might not need the notebook.
I think she's right.
Attention passengers, we will be arriving in Los Angeles approximately 10 minutes. Please prepare to leave all belongings on board when exiting until the authorities have had the opportunity to survey the scene and speak to everyone individually. Thank you.
Well, do you both have an idea of what happened?
Tell us.
Okay, everyone. We got 10 minutes before we reach Los Angeles. So grab that notebook and let's get to work. We can catch the murder by surprise if we all work together. Are you all in?
Hey, everybody in, everybody in. No, get over here, smarty pants. All right, right up. Right. Okay, he's not getting in. All right, team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Let's go, baby.
Does arrive West Coast 518 from Salt Lake City. Has does arrive on platform 4. Does arrive West Coast 518.
Folks, back it up. Give us some space. We're conducting an investigation here. This platform is closed.
All right, folks, please follow us. Head right over there, and we start taking your statements. Please leave all belongings on the train until we can conduct adequate search.
Right this way, folks. We will try to do this as quickly as possible. Please stay together.
Sir, your guitar. Madam, your book. You with the bag. Please, folks, all belongings stay on the train.
While wanting to follow the officer's wishes, Elliot was dismayed at the prospect of being separated from his writing materials, especially during what promised to be a very exciting series of events. He also failed to comprehend how a marine studies book and a guitar could pertain particular details to this investigation.
Sorry, he doesn't like to be separated from his notepad, but I can put my book back on the train though. And Nelson, I can take your guitar. And Avery, I can take your case for you too.
That won't be necessary, Abby. I'll be handing my case straight to the police.
Miss Millen, you're handing all your samples over to the police? Don't you think you should keep them with you?
Nonsense. You heard the officers. Everything on the train is evidence. I wouldn't want to complicate the officers' investigation by leaving them a case of samples that they couldn't open. Here are all of my pharmaceutical samples along with the key to the case.
Hello, officers. Let me introduce myself. My name is Owen Casey, and I'm a private investigator. I wanted to deliver this bag of evidence straight to you, along with this silver case. In this bag, you will find is the notepad from our resident writer, Elliot Williams, which I think you will find very interesting while reconstructing the activities on the train during our journey. This bag also contains the camera that belonged to Sidney Bennett, the deceased paparazzo who was constantly taking pictures until he died.
Wait, whoa. You found the camera?
That's great. Where was it?
I didn't even know our photographer's camera was missing.
Wow, that's a stroke of luck for us. The poor guy might actually help solve his own murder.
You say this camera was missing? Where did you find it?
Actually, the camera was never missing. The camera that I brought along to record my upcoming lecture looked very much like Sydney's. My camera is still missing, but this one was under Sydney's dinner table the whole time.
I took the opportunity to go back to the photos, and Sidney took one clear as day of Isabella's murder poisoning her water glass.
He did? Wait, poison? But who?
At first, we suspected Sidney did, because he had the most to gain by selling off these pictures. Of course, he denied it, and then he said we could look through his camera to see if we could find any helpful pictures.
And he's the other person who's deceased?
That's when we realized we were wrong about Sidney being the murderer. After Sidney died, we realized we had to look at other potential suspects.
Avery, you weren't even with the people who were searching for clues to Isabella's and Sydney's death. Derek, Jennifer, Lauren, and Abby all went with Owen to look for clues. How did you end up being the one who figured it all out?
I realized I was carrying around a whole case worth of potential danger. After the rock slide, I checked on my samples and everything was fine. But when I checked on them later, I noticed that a vial of medicine was missing.
You're missing dangerous medicine? We have to find it immediately. The rest of you could be in danger.
Your medicine poisoned Isabella? It was you. It must have been you. No one else had access to your case. And you were sitting at the same table as Isabella. And you just said in front of everyone that you opened your case right before the train stopped. I can't believe you tried to make me feel better after you killed her.
Lucy, listen. I thought the same thing at first as well, but when we went back through Elliot's notes, we realized that Avery was nowhere near Sidney at any point. She couldn't have killed him, and she didn't kill Isabella.
But there was one other person at the table with you and Isabella. One other person who helped handle the open case of medication. And the only other person who was with Isabella and Sidney right before their deaths.
Jillian!
Going somewhere.
You gotta be quick in that to surprise maybe like before.
Fine. You figured it out. It was me.
I don't believe this. Jillian, how could you?
Lucy, I didn't mean to kill her. Honest, I didn't.
But you did kill her. And why Sydney? Why?
I was just so angry at the way Isabella treated us at the train station while we were buying our tickets. And again at dinner. She was so rude to everyone. I mean, what did she think gave her the right to talk down to us? To all of us. Fame doesn't give people the right to act that way.
That's why you killed her? You were angry about her insults?
No. All I wanted to do was embarrass her. When I realized Sydney was on board and taking pictures to sell, I thought, well, it would bring Isabella down a notch. She was always so worried about looking her best and being better than everyone else. I thought a bunch of pictures of her getting sick all over the train right before her big movie premiere would be just the thing to mess up her perfect Hollywood image.
So you poisoned her to make her sick?
When Avery and I opened the case after the train stopped, I slipped out the vial closest to me before we shut the case again. During all the commotion, I poured some in her water glass. That way, she would get sick, and Sydney could sell her embarrassing pictures. But I never meant for her to die. I had no idea what I put in her water would kill her.
I can't believe this. How many times have I told you we're deal with dangerous items? What were you thinking?
Why kill Sydney, though? He was going to sell off the embarrassing pictures, just like you had planned.
Well, when Sydney started saying how he was going to sell all his pictures of Isabella and make all this money from it, I realized it didn't matter what happened to Isabella. She was still going to be famous, and Sydney was going to get rich from her fame.
So you killed him?
When Owen and Sydney decided to go through his pictures and look for a picture with the murderer in it, I knew I had to get his camera. He never stopped taking pictures. I was sure he had a picture of me poisoning Isabella's water, and I knew I would never get it from him willingly. He hardly ever put the camera down. I still had the rest of the vial in my pocket, so as soon as I had the opportunity, I poured the rest of the vial in his water.
You knew it was gonna kill him, and you did it anyway.
And for nothing. I snuck back as soon as I could and grabbed the camera and hid it in my coat pocket. But now I find out I have somebody else's camera? I didn't even see anyone else with a camera.
That's because no one else had one.
What?
I wonder why he kept calling every water glass a camera. Glad I just went along with it.
Avery and I figured out that Jillian was the only other one who had access to the case of pharmaceuticals, and we knew she must have been the murderer. Holly went back through Elliot's notes and realized Jillian must have had Sydney's camera.
So I decided that if we pretended we had Sydney's camera, it'd make Jillian nervous enough to confess, and I was right.
So I did have the camera all along. And you all didn't have a picture of me poisoning anyone.
Of course, now that you've already confessed, we don't even need a picture.
Let's go. You're under arrest.
Well, folks, we still have to
You have
ask
the right to
all
remain
of you to
silent.
come to the station for official statements. But now that we have the murder and confession, we should be able to get you on your way soon enough. If you could all please wait. If you could, all follow me. We have cars waiting to take you downtown.
Nice work, everyone. Abby, brilliant idea with that camera bluff.
Abby, I know that I didn't want to work on this trip, but obviously this trip had other plans. You were a great asset throughout all the chaos. You're very bright. I'm sure you'll make a superb vet tech.
That means so much. I learned so much about keeping cool under pressure from you, you know, during an animal emergency.
Nice meeting you too.
I do hate to admit it, but you had some very effective insights throughout this investigation.
That'll teach you, Professor, to never judge a book by its cover.
I never did hear what your college degree is in, Mike.
Criminal justice.
Really?
Yep.
Never. Well, this is all very surprising.
I'll say. What a way to start our honeymoon.
Jennifer, Derek, you both worked so well together to solve this crazy case.
I suppose you're right. We work a lot better together when we aren't arguing.
You're right, Jennifer. We need to find a way to keep ourselves on track working together instead of working against each other.
Hold on there, my cooking friends. I happen to know a fabulous musician who happens to be looking for work and is very good at keeping people calm and relaxed.
Come on, Nelson. Let's go talk terms in the car.
Hey, Lucy. You coming?
Yeah, I just can't believe this. I'm sorry I thought you killed her.
To be honest with you, I feel somewhat responsible. I should have been more careful who I trust to be my assistant and handle the samples.
You couldn't have known what she would have done. I don't think anyone would have guessed it. I know I sure wouldn't have.
Well, this may not be the greatest time, but I find myself needing a new assistant. Someone who has a good mind for business and good organizational skills and who's good at following directions. Someone who might be in need of employment.
Me? You mean you want me to be your assistant?
I know you're going to have a lot on your plate in the near future, handling Isabella's affairs. But when everything settles down, give me a call. Salt Lake City's a great place to live.
I will.
So
when
can you start?
Elliot, come on.
Before joining the others, Elliot reflected on the bizarre series of events that befell him and his fellow passengers aboard the West Coast 518th. It was probable that none of their lives would truly be the same. Friendships torn apart, new relationships made, old relationships made stronger, and new opportunities presented. What an amazing story this would make.
Hit the master on the right, far right side, Callie. Bring master up. There we go. Not that anyone wants to see me anyway, but thank you so much for being with us tonight. We were very glad to have you. We don't do a lot of fancy formal bows and so forth at the end, but I do want the kids to come out and give you a chance to recognize their efforts. So guys, come out wherever you are. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Kids did a great job, and behind the scenes, what you may or may not realize, with the junior high production, we allow some of our senior high students to fill the role of assistant directors or student directors, and this year we had three. Rachel Johnston, I'm not sure if she's back behind somewhere, Kirsten Sigler, and where if you're out, come on, if you're back there, come back, and we have Elijah Kyle. All three have been in a lot of Academy productions. They're seniors this year, and have just done a great job. Really, I'm largely hands-off with the acting part. They run the rehearsals and do the things, giving them some skill. And so I appreciate the three of those there. They are Kirsten and Rachel and Elijah, so they deserve a big round of applause as well. Thank you for being with us tonight. We certainly did appreciate your presence. Tomorrow night we'll have our dessert theater. We set up the tables and chairs and so forth, and it's a delicious dessert plus the show. And so there are just a couple tickets left on that if you're interested, see me, and we can make those available to you. But that show always sells out pretty quickly, so not much left on that front. I'm going to hold the kids up here for just a few seconds. Parents, if you want to come up and get a picture, you may do so. Other than that, can you get the house lights for me, love? Get the overhead, Shannon. Can you get the overhead lights, please, love? There we go. We're going to pray, thank the Lord for a great night, and then we will be dismissed. Lord, we do thank you for bringing us through this night. Thank you for the fun time we've had. Thank you for the kids remembering their lines and doing so well. Lord, just bless their efforts and give them encouragement to move forward and continue developing their skills for a life of ministry. Lord, watch over us tonight. Keep us safe as we go our separate ways. Bring us back together tomorrow, and we'll praise you for it. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you much. I'm going to hold him for about 30